Have you ever thought why you are always pressurized around people? Like you always have this pressure? I've not had my driving license for a long time. I think 8 years? No, 6. And in the beginning, when I was on the highway and there was someone behind me, like especially Germans, because they don't have like a limit to the speed, so they can go even 200 kilometer per hour. When I saw there's a German number plate behind me and they're right next to your bumper, I always moved. And then I go in the middle of the trucks, which go like 80, 60 because they're heavy. But over time, when I had my license for a longer time, when the Germans came behind me, I also added speed because there's pressure, like pressure to make you move. So I was asking myself the other days, like, why when we in such surrounding, we feel pressurized, and most of the time we go with the pressure. And sometimes, like me in the beginning, I did not go with the pressure because I was like, I'm not driving like a German. I just got my license. I need to take it slow. So why is it that most of the times when we need to take it slow, we don't take it slow? We go with the pressure that is around us. We go with the peer pressure that is not healthy for us. Because that German behind you, let me use this, for this analogy. That German behind you, that's how he's used to driving. That's the speed he's used to. Maybe he's in a hurry. But you're just in your own lane. But now you want to fit yourself into the German speed, which first of all, you are not in a hurry that day. And even if you are in a hurry, you should not be driving too fast. So it is okay to take it slow. It is okay to be driving on the highway at 150, okay, that's too high, 120 kilometers per hour. But then when you reach at the lights or you reach at the junction, it is okay to take it slow. But oftentimes we don't take it slow even at the junction. We just want to pass because we feel like we've known how to drive or we know how to drive, so we should not take it slow. You feel like, I'm an experienced driver right now. I don't need to take it slow. That's how we feel because that's exactly what I did with my driving. After 4 years, I was not taking it slow because I wanted to drive like the Germans. After 4 years, I felt like, I know how to drive. So it is okay to take it slow in the world because there's so many things and so many people around us that are moving on fast lanes, but that is their lane. That is their lane. You cannot fit in their lane because you have no idea where the history is coming from. You have no idea what they're running away from. And you're supposed to be in this other lane, but now you're fixing yourself in a speed and pressure that is not even good for you. So it is okay to take it slow because that's when you hear from God and that's when you hear the affirmations. Have you ever been at a road or just at a point in your life where you hear God and you're like, this is what he wants me to do. This is like this door is open for me. It's because you took it slow. I mean, Abraham, he was almost sacrificing his own son. If he was in the highway German speed and not slowing down at that junction, because the altar, that sacrificial place was like the junction, he would have sacrificed his own son, But he took it slow because it was a journey and he wanted to fulfill this. But then he reached that point and took it slow. And that taking it slow, he was able to hear God's voice and say, hey, look, there's a lamb, like take that. So it is not you to fit yourself in places you are not serving. If it's not the season for you to be serving people, like cooking meals and visiting people, that's not the season. But sometimes we just want to rush with the flow because you want to be there. You want to be there. You want to fit there. No, it's not your duty. It's God's duty to use people, maybe you in another season, to be there for other people. It is not your duty to be good, like do good deeds out of your own will, out of your own strength. No, it is God's duty to use you as his vessel to reach out to the people, And as you wait at the junction, that's when you hear God's voice. So in your waiting, you'll see clearly what he wants you to do. Will he tell you to continue with the 120 speed? Will he continue telling you that you need to continue with the 200 speed? Think about it. It is at the junction that we get direction. It is at the junction that we know what pressure we ought to be going. Yeah. at or with. And in that waiting, as you wait at the junction and you see people passing with speed, high speed, don't feel like you're left at the junction. No, because in that waiting, that is where things are unfolded to you. So don't look at the Germans passing at 250 kilometers per hour and you're only going 60. No, that is your lane and that is your waiting. Because they might have already had their own waiting times at the junction, but you never saw it. You only see because they're at the high speed. So most of the times we see people around us and they're going at German speed, but we don't know when they were at the junction. So in your junction, you just wait and you listen and you trust and you believe that is where you get the instruction for the next move. So everyone is in a hurry. Everyone is in a hurry these days. But you, when you reach at the junction, try to listen to what God is saying. Have a blessed day.